Let's build muscle after 50 with this slow motion, high intensity training Q&A. Hey, Mission Jacked, is my workout plan a waste of time? That's the $1 million question I just got. And trust me, it's one that deserves a deep dive. I'm Simon H, Muscle After 50 coach, and I've been deep in the trenches building natural muscle for over 42 years. So you could say I know a thing or three. Now, if you're over 50 and you're serious about building muscle, the way you train and recover is what matters, and it matters more than ever. So today, I'm going to explain why your current setup might be holding you back and how to tweak it for maximum gains using slow motion, high intensity training, aka S.H.I.T. Stick around because this isn't just advice, it could be your roadmap for building muscle after 50. So here's the question that I got from one of my subscribers in full. So it says, I'm doing 1 month full body workouts, 3 days per week. And on the next month, I'll be doing push-pull legs, 6 days per week. Do you think that's a good idea, or am I wasting my time? All sets and reps will be done using the S.H.I.T principle. Any advice? Sure. So thanks very much for sending in that question. And it doesn't matter whether you're new to slow motion high intensity training. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why I'm saying what I'm going to say, and you'll understand the principles behind slow motion high intensity training and why it may or may not suit your style of training. So this is why your current plan that you've sent falls short. Now, first off the bat, I am going to give you some options after I break this down, but we're going to break this down bit by bit so you can understand and be able to run and be able to make up your own training program. So, first off the bat, I believe this will be way too much because on 1 month, you're going to do 3 full body workouts per week. Usually, that's not a problem if you're just doing traditional training. But once you start adding in slow motion high intensity training, you're upping the ante. Now, let's move on to the second month. The second month, you want to do push-pull legs, which is a 6-day-a-week split. That's a lot again. Now, here are the issues that I've got with using those splits with slow motion high intensity training. So issue number 1 is that, as we all know, muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow during recovery. And with slow motion, high intensity training, recovery is everything. Okay, for anyone that is new to this, the slow motion, high intensity training protocol, aka S.H.I.T, you're gonna hear me refer to it as S.H.I.T, so please don't be offended. It is a simple but brutal protocol. Here's how it's set up. So usually you perform 1 to 3 sets per muscle group, but with each set, it's taken to absolute failure. Reps are done in a slow motion fashion, using 5 to 10 seconds on the way up and a 5 to 10 seconds on the way down cadence, with no rest at the top or bottom. While this looks easy, this maximizes time under tension and eliminates momentum, forcing your muscles to do all of the work and work harder than ever. So depending on the cadence that you use, there are specific rep targets for both the upper and lower body. Let's say for this example, we're going to do an upper body movement using a 7 seconds up and 7 seconds down cadence for each repetition. And the rep target is a minimum of 6 repetitions. Now, after a warm-up, you hit 1 all-out set per exercise. If you hit more than 6 reps, you increase the weight by a few pounds on the following week. If you hit less than 6 reps, that next week, you lower the weight by a few pounds. And if you hit exactly 6 reps on the following week, you stick with the same weight and focus on beating that rep count the next time around. So the goal is clear. You're either lifting more weight or doing more repetitions than you did last week. I've tried many splits and always come back to what works best. And the best split that I found that works with slow motion high intensity training is splitting the workouts into two. So on workout 1, you would be doing lower body, chest and triceps. And on workout 2, you'll be doing shoulders, back and biceps. Okay, now the next bit I'm going to say I can't overemphasize. Rest days are non-negotiable. And this is where most people trip up. You see, they look at the protocol and think, this is easy work. Why would I do that? I'm used to going to the gym 6 or 7 days a week. And that's the biggest mistake you can make, especially if you're using the intensity that I'm talking about. I've been training for 42 years, and I've come from a space where I was training 5 or 6 days a week. Now, all of a sudden, I've switched on that and I'm training a muscle group once every 8 days. There's good reason for that. In short, if you want to get bigger and stronger, you have to allow your muscles to rebuild and grow. So here's an example. Every workout is like digging a hole. Between the workouts, those recovery days are like refilling the hole. Now, before you can get a big mountain, you've got to refill that hole with dirt to even the level before you started that workout. That's recovery. Now, growth, once you get to that level surface where there's no longer a hole, the growth is putting more soil on top of the old soil. This means that there's no back-to-back training days for the same muscle group and no unnecessary volume, because recovery isn't just important, it's where all the magic happens. While this might seem fine, the intensity of S.H.I.T makes this challenging to recover from. If you're training to failure on multiple muscle groups in a single session 3 times a week, you're not giving your body enough time to recover. So I just want you to think about it for a moment. You're going to be doing a huge muscle group like legs. So let's start with legs first. We've got hamstrings, we've got quads, we've got calves. Then you're going to do another big muscle group like back. Then we're going to go and do chest. Then we're going to do delts. Now with delts, while some of our work can be covered within the back with rows and with the front with any pressing, we've still got to do a side delt exercise. And then we have triceps and biceps to add on. So just imagine that you're using the intensity that I'm talking about. By the time you're done with legs and back and shoulders, you may well be fried. The first couple of weeks, you may make a little bit of progress, but over a cycle of a month, you may see yourself going backwards, or you may find that you're not recovering enough to get stronger. Push-pull legs. The plan might work for traditional bodybuilding and training, and even then, you need to adhere to a good recovery plan. But with slow motion high intensity training, this is a recipe for disaster. You know, training 6 days a week doesn't leave much room for recovery. Over time, this was likely to lead to burnout, stalled progress, and even injury. With your current setup, you're consistently changing your routine. 1 month, you're doing full body workouts. The next month, now you're changing that frequency and doing more work. This inconsistency makes it nearly impossible to track your progress. You see, progressive overload thrives on consistency and measurable progression. Here's the bottom line. If you're not recovering, you can't perform better on your next workout. If you keep switching and swapping too often, you're not giving your body time to adapt within an exercise so you can grow stronger. Now, if you're training 6 days a week with slow motion high intensity training, you're more likely breaking down your body faster than you can rebuild it. Now, the great thing about this channel is that we always try and find an option that could work for you. So if you are dead set on doing full body workouts, push-pull legs, and using slow motion high intensity training, I found a way that possibly could work. But there are some buts, and I will talk about those buts at the end. So this is how I would split it up if I were doing what you wanted to do. So I've worked it on a 19-day plan. So it would look something like this. On day 1, I would do a full body workout with 1 set per muscle group, per major muscle group. On day 5, I would do a push-pull session with 1 set per muscle group. On day 7, I would come back and do lower body, 1 set per muscle group. On day 11, I would repeat that cycle. So on day 11, I would do a full body workout, the same full body workout that I did on day 1. And on day 15, I would do the same workout, the same push-pull workout that I did on day 5. And on day 19, I would do exactly the same lower body workout that I did on day 7. Now, by doing this, you can see that we've implemented on most training days 3 rest days between workouts. Now, with this setup, exercise selection is absolutely crucial. Recovery is absolutely crucial. Using great recovery techniques, tracking each workout is absolutely crucial, and your nutrition, it has to be on point. There's no negotiating about those factors. So if you're interested in taking that further and you want some help putting it together, just let me know. You can either use my contact me page or you can speak to me in the comments. Now, before I tell you what I do, my exact workout split, let me just quickly and briefly talk about the intensity and progressive overload. Now, this is from my own experience. When I first started doing slow motion, high intensity training, and I'm talking about the very first workout, I did all my research, got all the exercise planned out, and I was ready to go. So on that first workout, I thought I trained as hard as I could. When you start logging down all of your information, somehow, somewhere, you find something extra on week 2. So by week 2, I'm looking at my logbook and I'm ready to go. I've seen last week's scores. I've seen how many repetitions I did with what weight. And on each of those workouts, and for the next 6 weeks, I was either progressing with weight or progressing with repetitions. So I just want you to bear that in mind, that whatever you come with on week 1 isn't necessarily the intensity that you may be using on week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. There's something that could be psychological. It could be a fact that if you've never trained that hard before, you're subconsciously testing the water, so you may not be training as hard as you could be, or you could be training as hard as you could for that particular workout. But remember, when you employ the recovery, you're recovering enough to recover that muscle, for that muscle to get stronger and bigger. So that's something worth paying attention to. Now, this is how I split my training up. As I said to you, I only train a muscle group once every 8 days. So say on day 1, say that's Monday. So Monday, I will train lower body, chest, and triceps. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm resting. And then on Friday, I'm training shoulders, back, and biceps. Now, why that's 2 sessions in 8 days, here is something that I've learned and something that's improved my overall fitness and health. On Monday was a training session. I rest on Tuesday, but on Wednesday now, I will do a functional training session. Now that isn't intensely focused and it sure isn't muscle building focused. What it is, it's functional movements that give me an opportunity to train smaller muscle groups that would otherwise get missed out, such as neck, traps, lower traps, I'm talking about core, those kind of muscle groups. Also gives me a chance to train in different ranges of motions from side to side and all different things like that. It's functional training. And the idea with functional training is to become more functional during the day in your daily living. It's really important as you get to 50 plus. In between my second workout and the repeat of my first workout on the following week, I might come back to the gym and do a mobility session where the focus isn't functional training or building muscle, but it's more focused on mobility of shoulders, mobility of hips, activation of glute muscles, things that you wouldn't pay attention to in a normal training session. Why do I do that? Well, if I do a lot of sitting down when I'm editing videos, talking to clients and such like. If you do a lot of sitting down, you need to level that up with some action that really strengthens your posture. So this is what I do. So in 8 days, I'm only using high intensity training 2 of those days. 2 more of those days, I'm doing other forms of training. 1 functional training, 1 mobility training. Plus, I do 30 to 40 minutes of walking for cardiovascular health every single day. That means I'm good to go. Okay, if you're super duper interested in slow motion high intensity training, I always find that 2 heads are better than 1. You could take the information from this video and try to put together your own plan. Or if you want a ready to go workout program and series, you could click the link in the show notes. So let me explain what our workout program and series looks like. They're follow along 4K videos. Before you even get in the gym, you'll be watching a video that explains everything about slow motion training. It explains about recovery, it explains about the days that you train, and it will give you a brief outline of what to expect. That's followed up by 2 workouts for cycle 1. And those are the workouts that you follow religiously on the days that you're meant to train, which is all mapped out for you. Then we have cycle 2, which is a step up from cycle 1. And you have options to be able to step your game up on cycle 2 or keep it at the same level as cycle 1. And then we introduce you to even more exercises and another chance to step your game up in cycle 3, totaling 16 weeks of absolute greatness. We don't stop there. We move on with tips outside of the training for post-workout. So you always know how you can optimize your workouts, how you can optimize your nutrition, should I say. After that, we give you tips and a roadmap if you want to build muscle or if you want to lose fat. That's not all. We also give you a plan of how to improve your sleep. We give you a 9-point plan about how you can improve your sleep, because sleep is the ultimate natural performance enhancer that will take your training to the next level. So if you're really interested in getting to grips with the real slow motion, high intensity training guru, look in the show notes and click that link. But on to the next time for building muscle after 50. Stay safe, train smart. Adios.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
When you download our free cheat sheet, not only will you discover the secrets to transforming your body and your life in your 50s faster than you ever imagined, you'll also discover how to gain muscle in your 50s. This will shock you, not only because of how easy it is, but the speed at which you'll see results. You'll also find how to lose weight in your 50s. We'll reveal the method that completely flips everything you thought you knew on its head. No fad diets, no grueling cardio sessions. And if you've been feeling like a dead car battery, it's time to get your energy back. We'll show you how. Now, the link for this free cheat sheet is in the description.